Today on To The Point, we are kicking off a whole series of World of Dance interviews, starting with this duo who is headed to divisional finals.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Welcome on into The Point with Kristyn, Burtt, and I am super excited about the duo we have here today. You guys saw them Sunday night on The Cut. They did pretty darn well. Welcome to the studio, Julian Charlize. How are you guys?
Good.
Great.
How are you?
Excellent. Now, is it fun? We were just talking about this. Like, this was taped last fall, and people are telling you guys, good luck on Sunday.
Right.
People are actually thinking it's still live.
Yeah.
But I think that's great that they think you're totally invested. You're flying to the
know.
Ukraine and then coming back to Los Angeles to go and
Busy
perform.
boy.
Does it feel like a long time for both of you?
Well, definitely. Like when we watch it, it's like, oh my god, like that happened, and like it's like going back in time because we've done that before, and it's just like great memories, and it's just like seeing that again is like. It's almost like, wow, we worked so hard for that, and it was great to see it.
Yeah,
you know?
It doesn't feel like that long ago, but then when I watch it, it feels like really long ago, so I really don't know.
My hair is definitely longer now. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You're like, I have a whole new look.
Yeah.
And you're a little bit older. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You're officially 18. You're still 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. End of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. You're like, I don't know when my birthday is. It's all good.
Goodness.
Well, one of the things I always love to ask guests who decide to do World of Dance, how did it come about for the two of you? Because everyone sort of has a different story of how they came onto their season.
Right. Yeah. I've known Shar for like all my life. We always danced together in like classes, conventions, and she's like such a phenomenal dancer. And I was like struggling if I wanted to do the show or not, or like do solo, whatever. But I thought of it and I was like, oh my god, like what if I did a duo with Shar, because she's such a versatile dancer, such a great dancer, and I felt like we could both, you know, do pretty good on the show, and we just took that chance and we went for it. And I mean, we actually met on America's Best Dance Crew.
When you guys were babies.
Yeah.
How old were you when you were both on America's Best Dance Crew?
I was 10.
You were 10, so you were
Yeah.
around that same age.
Like 11.
Holy cow. So he approaches you and says, let's do World of Dance together. And you're like, yes, right away? Or like,
And I was like,
don't know.
yes.
You were all in
course
right
I
off
was, yeah.
the bat.
Like in the beginning of the year, my mom was like asking me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, no, I don't want to.
Because it's like a big...
It's a lot. It's a big commitment.
Big commitment. And now, but
With
most of your
school and stuff,
friends have
too.
done it at
Yeah.
this
Sure,
point.
yeah.
Honestly, your circle of friends, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, because I was like, I've literally had every single person you've ever worked with on the show, except for the two of you, I feel like. So
Right,
I'm
yeah.
going to check off that list at this point. What were some of your friends telling you about the experience? Like, you should do it. It's great. I know they've all gotten a lot of leverage off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really talked to them about it, to be honest. I still haven't. Like, I haven't.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know why, but I didn't ask, like, should we do it or should we not? We just did it, and
Yeah.
now we're there.
I definitely talked, like, to it about, like, to Josh. Like, I just, like, wanted to get his take on it. Like, oh, how was it, like, being with a crew and being with Melvin, like, and he said it was just like a great experience. So I think it was something that I wanted to experience too. And seeing Sean, like one of my good friends, do it too, like also inspired me to do it. And I just felt like that we both needed to experience it, and getting that feedback almost like, I was like, okay, like maybe I could do it too, since like my friends are doing it, and that kind of like motivated me to do it.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense too. I think it's smart to do it in a duo or a group of some sort. I find watching the soloist, sometimes I think it must be very lonely, because
Right, yeah.
I know.
you only, in some ways it's good because you only have yourself to rely upon, but then
Right.
at the same time, especially the mental aspect, you only have
Right.
yourself to rely upon.
Exactly.
And it's hard when you're out there and you're thinking, oh, I've got to go out and battle, or now we're getting to the later rounds.
Right.
There's more stress and everything, and at least you guys had each other.
Yeah.
How? Wait. Okay, you just laughed. So how did it go when those times were stressful?
I mean, we always just try to like have fun, even though like we're so stressed. Like, I think it was almost like a blessing that I had Shar with me, because when times were like, you know, really stressful, like we're like, okay, we film tomorrow. We just like we were goofing around.
Yeah. Like when we were goofing around, it like was distracting our brain that we actually are about to go on stage. And so like we weren't stressing out about it. We were just like focusing on like, I don't know, having fun in the moment.
Yeah.
Which helped like prepare us to get on the stage.
It's a way to decompress, honestly.
For sure, yeah.
Because if you're thinking, okay, we're now at the cut, and now, you know, 50% of our division is going home, if you start thinking about, you're just going to psych yourself out.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
There's no way. And especially if you've done the work and rehearsed, your body knows what to do.
Yeah.
So now you just have to figure a way to keep the mental aspect strong and on point.
There's so many videos of us, like, when we rehearsed, like, just, like, fooling around. Like.
Mainly him.
I mean, because in a way,
So are
like,
you the taskmaster then, saying we got to do this?
I don't pay attention. I'm not saying that I don't pay
I mean,
attention.
like when we need to focus, we focus. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm not just saying like our rehearsals are a bunch of
Well, you
fun games.
You couldn't produce what you've produced on the show if you weren't focusing on a rehearsal.
Yeah.
So let's be honest.
So, yeah, and like I like the good vibes. So like if we're all like just having fun, then like we work better.
Yeah.
But
we
if we're
had
just
fun
like
every rehearsal.
yeah,
I wasn't like waiting for the rehearsal to end,
That's good.
which I normally am with like other people.
Yeah, you're like, I'm ready for
I'm
this
bored. And Julian, I was never bored in his rehearsals.
That's good.
Our rehearsals.
You're a good team, that means. Well, let's walk
my
in.
rehearsals.
Stop.
Is he the boss?
No.
No, exactly. That's what I thought. Well, let's walk it back a little bit to qualifiers, because that, when you know you're doing the show, you do have a little bit more time to prepare. Did you come in with 3 or 4 routines prepared? Some teams are very strategic about this, and others kind of just roll as each round goes on.
Yeah, we came in.
Rolled.
Didn't we? Well, like we started with the middle.
Yeah, we kind of had to though. We had to have a piece ready.
Right.
Just
We
one.
had
Everyone
new
did.
level like in our pocket.
Yeah.
And
New
like,
level.
we're
New
really
level was just
excited for that
easy to
one.
come. Like it rolled out.
Yeah,
It was
so-
like already on our tongue, and it just came out as it did.
So
Which
while
was-
we were working on the middle, like I would put on the song, new level for the next, like just
Yeah.
in case.
Just
and
in case
just
we
vibe
made
out to
it, and we just wanted to have it like prepared for the next one. So we didn't have like set pieces before we even went on the show. We just like we started working on the second one during qualifiers. So then we were more prepared and ready for the second.
And then not
round.
just throwing it together in that
Yeah.
week or two you
so
guys
we
have
weren't
off.
stressed. Yeah.
What was it like doing qualifiers? Because I think a lot of people find that it's one of the most stressful rounds just
For sure.
because you're finally on that stage.
Yeah.
When I walked into that studio, honestly, because I went for the cut and it was a press day and they allowed us to kind of walk around the stage, walk through that tunnel. It's pretty intimidating, I found.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out a way to just not freak out that J-Lo and Derek and Neil are right in front of you as well. You just
Yeah.
have to focus on the work that you have to do on that stage. So how did
Yeah.
you guys keep yourself grounded that first round?
I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I feel like I was freaking out more than you were. I don't remember. I just like that's what I remember. I could be completely wrong.
It was
but I
like-
feel like I was just dying.
I think we both knew like first impressions are everything.
Yeah.
So we knew that we had to come out like really strong because it sets the whole tone. So I think that's what made the pressure high, and it was the first time we were going on stage as a duet, as doing like our first time ever.
Yeah, because we never danced with each other before.
Yeah.
Well, we were both freaking out. Like, we were both freaking out.
Yeah,
He gets
for that
quiet when he's scared. So, like,
Oh,
I try to-
interesting.
yeah.
he just gets very quiet, so he wasn't saying anything, but I start to speak, and I just say whatever's on my mind, and so I was, like, jitterbug. Like, I literally couldn't stop talking, and he was just, like,
He's climbed
quiet,
up.
staring at everyone. So, it was just... It was,
Meditating.
yeah, it was a lot. We have a video of him meditating also.
I love that. Well, how about when you're on that stage? Did you guys like the stage? Some of the dancers, the contemporary dancers, I know hate it because that LED floor just rips up their
Oh,
feet.
yeah.
How is it for you guys? Because you're probably usually dancing in
Yeah, we had
sneakers and
shoes
stuff.
on,
Your
so it
shoes,
didn't
it's
really matter.
no big deal.
It was cool.
Every shoe that we had wasn't slippery.
Mm-hmm.
It was good enough. And in
Yeah,
our
it's
rehearsals,
just
if it
cool
was
stage.
slippery, like the wardrobe people would fix it. So I think it's fine.
Yeah.
We had it easy when it comes to that.
We didn't have any slips, so
No,
Good.
thank God.
I know, and they do happen on that
I
stage.
know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you watch it and you go,
Bad zoom in.
oh.
Yeah, right. Because
I
it
know.
probably doesn't happen during rehearsal, so it just happens to happen when
Yeah.
everybody's watching.
Yeah, and then they always do a replay, and you're like, oh.
You're like, oh, God, feeling it again.
Were you guys in your head thinking we just have to get an 85? We just have to get an 85.
Yeah. And it was tough because the previous seasons you just had to get an 80. So I was like,
Big
man.
difference.
You know,
You're like, we could have sailed through.
I know, yeah. But, you know, very blessed.
Yeah,
that
you
we
came
made
through
it.
with an
Very blessed.
87. And I think that they judged qualifiers a little bit more strict than they have some of the other rounds. So I felt like everything was kept on the lower end.
Right. And even though we wanted to, do our best, we still, in the back of my mind, I knew we had more to offer.
Right.
So, I didn't want to, put all of our eggs in one basket for the qualifiers. So
And
that's why for New Level, we just
Right.
came out.
I'm glad that we started lower because then we proved ourselves to be better every time rather than starting really high and then getting lower by each round. So I'd rather have it
Increase.
We had it, yeah.
So you get to the duels, and obviously, you know you're going to be battling someone. Actually, you guys know right off the bat, because don't they do it right at the end of the qualifiers, everyone that makes it through?
Mm-hmm.
No, they do it like a day later, right? Or 2
Oh,
days
yeah,
later.
yeah.
But
My-
within that couple
Yeah.
weeks you have off before you tape again,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
we know who
we're
we're about to go
battling the
against, yeah.
trilogy.
Yeah.
So
That process.
that whole
Yeah.
process.
It was I think was it the day after or something?
I think it was the day after. And just going into that process, it's really stressful because you're like, who's going to choose me? Or are we going to get to choose? Or I don't know, just are we going to be default? Which thank God we were.
I know. I won't-
Do you feel actually grateful that you were the default?
Yeah.
for sure.
Because you didn't have to worry about someone picking you because you had a lower score
Yeah.
or thinking that you were evenly matched.
Yeah.
What strategy, if you had picked someone, would you have gone with? Someone that is equally matched to you or someone with a lower score? Because I think both strategies work and there's pros and cons to both.
I mean, choosing a lower score, I feel like that's just come on, you can do better than that. I don't know.
But if you want to make it to the cut, it's strategy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's like an automatic go through.
But it didn't work for everyone.
Right. So that's why, because you never know what
You
people
can't.
have in their
Right.
in their pocket, Because if you choose someone with a lower score, they might
They might have
Oh,
something
okay.
completely different.
It happened
So
in
you
a
gotta
couple of the
kinda-
rounds where
Yeah, in
the
the
lower
upper-
scoring,
Yeah.
you owe
owe me
each
a
other
soda.
Coke. Oh, now you owe me a
Oh
Coke.
gosh. I don't drink Coke. I've never had Coke, actually.
But one thing about Shar is that she could finish a large drink really fast.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
your
one of
secret
her
talent?
In
talents.
17 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
I
know
wish I had
why.
lots of liquid.
Yeah,
I
so-
have a couple liquids.
No, yeah.
I don't know why. I just I don't do it on purpose. It just happens.
You
Yeah.
need to hydrate.
I'm not try and beat me. I just drink it and then
Yeah.
and,
If you
10
get, a
seconds later
venti-
it's gone.
It's just
A venti, strawberry acai, whatever. Is
Acai?
acai, whatever.
I just
or acai.
She'll
It
finish
depends.
in 20 seconds.
Oh,
yeah.
do you have this on social media at all that we can watch this?
Yeah,
I have a
his
video
dad
of it.
filmed
Yeah,
it,
because I think we need to definitely
Crazy.
time it.
I never seen it.
It was in our rehearsal, I think, for the middle.
All right, we'll have to look
actually.
at that.
We're gonna put in the dance, but no.
That's what's coming
It's
up in
the
divisional
concept.
finals, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to do a new trick. They're looking for it. Well, let's talk about the duels because I think there was a lot of talk in the 4 weeks that we watched them. Was it 4 weeks or 2 weeks? That there was a lot of talk about the burns. Now, did the producers encourage, can you throw in some burns into your routine? Was that
It was
suggested?
I mean, I feel like that's what they want because it's a duel, so you're supposed to be battling someone, and when you're battling someone, you burn them
right.
rather than just a dance and a dance that have no correlation.
Because they talked a lot about it in the packages. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, we've got 5 burns or we have 4 burns.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, they must have really asked them to talk about burns or put burns in a little bit more because we haven't seen
Yeah.
that in the prior seasons.
Right. I think it just something I feel like we put the burns in to just make sure that we could really tap into that duo mentality and
Right. Yeah.
show the judges that we're really serious about moving on.
It adds another advantage
Yeah,
too,
it's
because we
like-
knew that Trilogy was a contemporary piece, so it's hard to burn a hip hop piece
Yeah.
I don't know how to say
It is
but-
because they either have to add a little bit of fusion to their contemporary.
Mm-hmm.
It is harder
so that they
from
have
their
to
end.
like choose a song that can represent that as well.
I think that's what made it more fun though.
Yeah.
Like we were just having fun with it.
We didn't mean it. It was just like fun and like
The junior rounds, like I felt like you guys
I
were.
don't know. Junior team was really intense. I was like
Yeah.
struggling
Was
watching it.
I was too, and we thought, are they taking it super serious, or they just, you know how you amp things up for TV, and you're like,
Right.
rah, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, like Derek was like, okay, guys,
I
let's
know,
go.
Yeah.
like calm down.
Also,
right?
we just wanted to make sure that we respect them too, so that's why we threw in the bows in the beginning and the bow at the end, just so like that we
Right.
show respect. Like we,
I like
hey,
that.
That's why we did this
appreciate
thing in
your-
the very beginning.
like we appreciate what you guys are doing. Like, but this is like a battle, but like we still respect you guys.
Yeah, we love your artistry as well.
'Cause
Absolutely.
everyone's talented. Everyone on that show is talented.
Yeah.
So-
Everyone works really hard
Yeah,
to get there too.
For sure, and you can't just disrespect. You have to show appreciation for others. So even in that round, we tried to show respect.
Well, you guys came out really strong, and the judges were really excited. So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you start hearing the feedback right away, I'm sure it's really exciting. At the same time, you're still
Yeah.
thinking, okay, now we got to go to the cut. We've got to try and top this.
Yeah.
How are you processing all of that? Especially you're choreographing. Are you contributing as well, choreography wise? So the two of you are collaborating here.
Yeah.
Do you go back to the studio and think, okay, we can't rest on our laurels here? You're only, good as your next dance that you
Right.
really have to worry
Right.
about.
Yeah.
You can't go, we were so good in that last round.
Yeah, you never want to. Yeah, but we try to make it different, just so it's not repetitive. Like,
Every round, so they weren't
Right.
bored of the same thing.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to show one side and then a different side and then another side and then like another, like just so many sides so they see the versatile side of us. So we're not just giving out the same thing over and over again because it gets boring and repetitive.
yeah,
Well, I loved in the duels, like that slow motion section that sort of just like
Yeah.
kicked in, and then you were like, yeah, and hit it really hard.
yeah.
I have to tell you, like watching that as an audience member is really exciting.
yeah.
And I think that I think sometimes people forget, like you need levels to things.
sure.
And you guys did a really good job with, and not just like physical levels, but
Yeah.
emotional levels of what you're seeing each and every time.
Yeah, because I listening to the song at first, I was like, how am I gonna make it different, And since the song's like hyped the whole time, I was like, what if I like slow it down and just pick it back up and then add some beats? Like Char watches me while I'm like, I was like, because I really like love producers and like I'm really like interested in what they do and like I want to be a producer one day too. So I would like beatbox like what the beats I want into it to make the dance better. Like we did that in the cut too. Like
I have a
Like, I
video
would-
of him. He's like speaking to his computer. He's like, boom, 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 boom.
yeah. But it worked.
When you choreograph, are you one of those that just goes boom,
Yes,
You're
we have
not.
our own language.
Yeah.
Me and Josh. And
All right, tell us what your language is. Let's hear it.
All right, get, swap, drop, crack, skate.
What's a schwab? What does a schwab look like?
Swap is more like swap, like if
Like a
it's
schwab.
yeah. Swap is like if you like just like swap. Get is like a hit. Get.
I'm trying to
And
get-
drop is down low. Swap is up high with the arms. So
She looks mortified right now. Like she just wants to
no,
run
like
out of
this
the
is like
studio.
a real thing. Like,
It's like it's every day.
but it's
everything
like for
you do.
anything. It's not even dance.
Yeah, like a response to something. Like, well, like in a group chat, he'll just respond Schwab. And I'm like,
Schwab.
that does not answer what I was asking, but
Yeah.
okay.
You're like Schwab,
But
hashtag
it's
Schwab.
definitely spreading because other choreographers are using it now.
They're using Schwab.
Yeah.
Drop.
Like shout out Fifi.
But it's kind of a fun.
It's fun. you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's shorthand between the two of you because you're understanding exactly what he's looking for when he tells you Schwab,
Yeah,
Right?
basically.
basically. So you wound up with a 95.3 out of the
Oh,
duels.
yeah.
Were you relieved not to have to do redemption round?
Yes.
Yes.
It was really shocking because I wasn't expecting that high of a score since we got an 87. I was like, oh, okay, so they're judging really hard, and then we got an 85.3, and I was just like blown
Yeah.
away.
And then you're like, I don't have to dance one extra time.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh gosh, because our redemption was.
How was your redemption? Now, for people that don't know all of this, you were given the songs when you picked the duels. You were the default ones, but when
Yeah.
you found out who you were dueling, they gave you the songs.
Yeah.
There's like 2 versions of one song. There's like one that has like more beats in it and one that's like more smooth, I guess.
Yeah, they
For,
told me like the
contemporary.
original and then like the remix or whatever is
Yeah.
kind of how people have been telling me. But
Yeah.
how much time did you dedicate to your redemption dance?
Not a ton.
I mean, it was definitely
We
it
like.
was like
Sorry.
no.
You can go.
I'm trying to figure it out. Like the song, like I don't know. It was
didn't
hard
speak
to
to us.
do because we're hip hop.
That's
It was
legit.
really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was Battle
hard.
Scars. So like, it's like a contemporary dance on its own. That's just like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not contemporary. You can do whatever you want to whatever song, but like, I don't know. It just didn't feel like us. So it was really hard for us to make a good dance to that song specifically. Not saying that it's bad. It's just,
Yeah.
That's what artistry is. Like a
Right.
song speaks to you or it doesn't speak
and
to you.
it didn't speak to us. So we were struggling, but we like made the strategy that we were going to make our duels piece really, 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 really good. So then we won't even have to think about redemption.
Like, oh,
we
we were just
did
somebody
make a
else.
dance, but
Well, and you think
wasn't
about
our
that
best.
too. It wasn't speaking to you guys, and you have like Kayla Mack, contemporary ballet. You had the tappers. I mean,
Right.
it had to speak
Yeah.
to all different styles,
For
whether
sure.
it was speaking to you or not. If you had
Right.
to do it, you had to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It was just like we tried our best with it, you know, but we're grateful.
thank
that
God
we,
no one has to see it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
it's not going to see the light of day, huh?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
Probably no. It is not.
Because we got to see your work in the cut, and you walked out on stage, and I said, "I wonder if anyone's ever told her she looks like a young Janet Jackson."
Oh.
Have you ever gotten that? Go back. People, like, tell me if I'm crazy or not. You've got, like, when you're doing all, like, your cute little, like, flirty moves, totally Janet Jackson, a la What Have You Done For Me Lately?
That's a great compliment.
Yeah, it is.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. But I was hoping other people would see it because I thought that's exactly what I thought right off the bat. One of our first albums. So I
you.
don't know. And, you know,
I'm gonna
dancing.
look that
and-
up when I leave.
do it. So, but yeah, exactly.
Look at my face.
We were also the Well to Dance after show. We were a little obsessed with your orange outfit.
Oh yay!
Did wardrobe pull that together for you, or was it a collaboration?
They like pulled different pieces. Like they pulled a bunch of like of those shirts for Julian, and then a bunch of like we told them like what we like wanted, and they pulled a bunch of different outfits that like look like that. And I was like, ooh, I like this one. I like this one. So I tried them on, and that one fit the best.
That was a winner. That
Yeah.
was a winner. I love that you were inspired by La La Land.
Yeah, I love movies. So, we were trying to figure out like a concept for the routine because we just didn't want it just to be like, you know, we wanted it to be different. So we
And they
tried-
love a good narrative on the
right,
show.
exactly. So I was like playing with the cat and mouse thing, and I was like, how could I do it in like a fun way? And like since we both like live in LA, we're professional dancers. Like we've been doing this.
Since you're itty bitty.
Right, and like so, how we portray our story too in like a way, we're telling a story on the stage.
Have either of you guys worked with Mandy Moore? Mm-hmm. You have.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm like, La La Land was, for her, I think a lot of us knew who
Yeah.
Mandy Moore was, but I feel like it was finally like a big, like
Yeah.
America realized there's two Mandy Moores, people. There's an actress and a choreographer
Right.
who's incredible. So I always like to know because a lot of people have worked with her over the past. What was the feedback? Derek's feedback was really interesting. Like, I thought he was going to have a lot of notes for you, and then he's like, nah, I just really like it.
Yeah,
Was there more? Was there more that we missed? Because I know sometimes their comments are longer than what we see on television. Do you remember?
Not that I remember.
I don't think so.
It was basically it. He
Yeah.
was just saying how he like saw the choreography more than the dance, but
Yeah.
then he said he didn't know what to say because he liked it. So I was
Yeah.
really confused, to be honest.
How do you take a note like that? Because I mean, I understand. I think maybe he was saying that he could, maybe as a choreographer
Yeah.
himself, he was seeing the steps.
yeah,
But
Because there was a lot of steps. Because Neil
Yeah.
said that there was a lot in one. So I understand what he was saying. You just like saw a bunch of steps, which
right.
I don't know how to explain it.
I think
Because the performance was there too. Like that's the other thing. It's not
Yeah.
like
Right.
sometimes when someone does choreography, you're just seeing the steps and you're not feeling the emotion out of
Right,
it.
yeah.
But that to me also wasn't the note either
Yeah.
because you guys were performing the heck out of it.
Yeah, I think we didn't like when I was choreographing it. I didn't want it to just be like a story. I wanted it to be good too. Like
Right.
New Level. Like so I wanted to add that intensity and the same level of choreography too. So I think I was just maybe I was put too many steps in there. Like
I don't know.
but I don't know.
Because
But
it
I
was
respect
successful. Yeah, his opinion's good.
Like
Yeah.
his critique, so I could work with that. So I have something to like let me think about this, work on it, do better the next time.
Out of the judges, was there someone that would give you notes that resonated? They all have valid opinions, they all have valid expertise, but sometimes one particular judge resonates with a choreographer and dancer. Just they go, I understand what they were saying, they were speaking to me. Was there someone on the panel for each of you that you, when they would give you a note, you go, I got it, light bulb on?
Neo's was really good.
I was gonna say, yeah, Neo and the
In-
qualifiers. He said that
Yeah.
when we started so far apart, he couldn't see it together.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I watched it on stage, I like really understood it. I was like, oh yeah, I can't even see. And I don't remember what group it was, but one other group or duo or something did it, and I couldn't see. Like I couldn't see what it was, but for us, I could see it because I knew the choreography.
Right.
But when I saw someone else do it, I understood, and I was like, oh, I see where he's coming from
Yeah.
now. You can't like look at two places at a time. I was like, why can't you just like look in the middle and see them
Yeah.
both like out
But
of
it
your
splits
peripheral?
your eye.
But it splits your eye, so
Yeah.
you can't see it as well. You can't see the details. So I
Because
feel
it was
like
a
that,
different part too.
Yeah.
We thought it was the beginning he was
Yeah.
talking about, but it's the different part.
right.
It's on the YouTube video too. If you guys
Yeah.
go to World of Dance YouTube channel, they have that along with Neo's comment. So
Yeah.
it'll make a little bit more sense to what
For
we're
sure.
talking about.
I
That's-
feel like that note was
Yeah.
really- that yeah.
I mean, all of the notes are great, and
Mm-hmm.
I think, but what really spoke to me was Neo's, and yeah, because he said something about being if you're a good singer, then you can't sing how you can't be like the whole time, and that really
Julian, do you sing often?
So
yeah
good.
yeah
Oh my God.
new album dropping Friday.
Can't wait.
Don't look at it. I mean, listen to it.
Yeah, that was horrible.
No, it's okay. I don't sing at all, so there's no judgment here. Do you sing?
No.
Yeah,
My mom wants me to, and I'm like,
Maybe.
my mom wants me to.
Maybe. You guys walked away with a 93 and move on to divisional finals. Obviously, that hasn't aired, so we can't talk about results, of course. But I'd love to know your mindset and your preparation in creating your divisional final piece.
The mindset is just to
make it different.
make it different than
Yeah.
the cut, and to keep that
And duels
intensity.
and qualifiers.
And
Do you start feeling a little creatively tapped out or a little creatively stressed out because you're thinking we're at round 4. What are we doing different? Like what looks different to
I
them?
feel like we struggled the most with the cut.
for sure.
And then the beginning of our divisionals, we weren't having the best time. I mean, not that we weren't having the best time. It wasn't as easy as the duels. Like duels was so easy. We were like, oh my God, this just flew by. But for the cut, we were struggling a little bit, and then divisional finals, but it ended up being good.
Yeah.
You'll see.
You're like, I got it.
But we just try to make every dance better than the last one.
Yeah. And you have to like make so many dances in a short amount of time. So then like you're trying to think of something new, but like you just can't stop thinking about your last dance that you just did. So you're like trying to get that out of your brain. Meanwhile, we still like take class like normal dancers in LA. So we have that choreography in our head too. Like just so many things in our little brains.
And
we
you
have
had
to do
school. I just knew that was coming. Who's homeschooled? Anyone?
He's fully homeschooled. I'm half homeschooled. So
Okay.
I go to school every other day because my school is like a block schedule. So it just like works out that way. So I
Yeah.
didn't miss that much of regular school when I was on the show because
I still taught too a little bit.
yeah.
That's
And I was taking his
lot.
class and all that.
That's a full schedule because I know those production days are very long.
Yeah.
And we have school on set, and so it's just a lot to handle.
Everyone said not a lot of school got done on set. Everyone was like,
Yeah, I think I finished like 2 Netflix shows.
2. No, you finished about 20.
We will not tell California Child Labor Board.
I'm a good student, so
That's good.
I passed the chess bee, so I didn't have to do school on set. So, like, when they'd have to wake up at, like, 6 and go to set, I would just sleep in until, like, 9 and then go. But still, I need to get my school
yeah,
done.
we'd be like, there's Charlize walking in.
Tell
then-
everyone what the chess bee is, because a lot of people don't know what that
California something
is. But it allows you
to work legally as an 18-year-old.
Yeah,
so you
so
don't
it's
have to do
emancipation,
school on
I think,
set.
is the
Basically,
word.
but
Yeah.
I didn't, like, emancipate from my mother. I love her.
Emancipated, I guess, school-wise.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
But I didn't quit school, because normally people that take the chess bee, they quit school, but I didn't want to quit because I don't want to quit. So there's
We like that.
It's just easier for job reasons. So he would have to wake up so early and get there, and I'd be like, peace out, I'm going to be sleeping.
Yes. In California, labor laws, they're pretty strict.
Yeah.
And the younger you are, the stricter they are, which they
Right.
have to
Right.
be. But, you know, when I had a lot of the Dancing with the Stars juniors cast in here, some of them were so itty
came
bitty.
in?
Oh my goodness, so many.
love
JT
them.
Church
Oh,
and
goodness.
Camry. And
Love
I'm like
them.
trying to think who else. I pretty much had most of them.
Sage.
I did have Sage.
was here.
Of course I had Sage. Because he was not the itty bitty on that cast. He was the big guy on that cast.
Crazy kid.
I know. Do you guys remember the exact moment you met each other? Do you have that recollection
I
since
don't
you've
remember the
known?
exact moment, but I remember seeing him for like the entire week on ABDC because I was competing, and his crew, Iconic Boys, competed the year before, the
yeah,
season
and then
before.
we came back. They came
came
back
back.
on, and then
Yeah.
my mentor Gio was like, "You want to come too?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah." And I was like 11 years old, and that was like everything, you know. And it was a great experience.
So they had to do school as well, and we were like one of the. I think when they were there, I think we were the only crew that had to do school at that
And we
time.
were like the both like younger crews
Yeah.
on that show.
And so we would have to do school at 7:15 every morning for an entire week. So we got to know them. So I remember like hanging out with them and stuff. But like that's about it.
Obviously, being on America's Best Dance Crew, Nappy Tabs, part of World of Dance as well, part of ABDC. Do you
Yeah.
have any memory of them back then? Or
Not
no
really.
awareness who they were at that point? Now I'm sure you're very
we
aware, but
definitely like
Yeah,
like
I
knew.
knew. Yeah, of course. I just can't I can't remember like the exact moments. And some of the assistant choreographers on World of Dance were on some of the crews that I was competing against.
Matt
So-
Cady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, love him.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, I know Matt Cady's on there, and Brittany Cherry from Dancing with the Stars works behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What's it like working with some of the supervising choreographers? Because they're there to sort of
No, yeah,
be your eye. Anthony, that's right, Anthony Kinn. But they're there to just kind of help you out and
Yeah.
figure out the
So
cameras. That everyone says
So
it's
helpful.
incredibly helpful
Yeah,
to
for
finishing
sure.
off the piece
'Cause we
for
get,
camera.
like, not dancers block, but like we'll think it's good enough, and then they'll be like, "Are you sure? Do you think you need to do this to like
Right.
spice it up, or like make it different, or just make it cooler?" And Anthony helped us a lot with that,
yeah.
a ton, especially with the cut in divisional finals.
You had Jennifer Lopez as your mentor.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
How was that?
That was
It was
crazy.
really cool.
Yeah.
It was really. We walked out and we were like,
You
'Cause
did not know.
me and-
No one
We don't
knows.
This is
No.
like a fun fact. Me and Shaw, we thought it was who? Who do you think? Like we were like
think-
trying to guess who it was.
I think I thought it was Neo.
Yeah, we thought.
Yeah, because like the
And
other
then-
divisions went before us. Sorry.
So
I
you
cut
already
off.
knew that
No,
Derek
no.
had gone. You knew that Jenna.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so now we have Neo. We have Neo, I swear.
So we're
I
walking
swear we
in
have
thinking
Neo.
we're gonna see Neo.
And then it was J Lo, and we were like,
She offers some really interesting advice that I always find very helpful. She understands, of course, from a dancer perspective.
and her perspective of what she wants. So like, if she wants that, you have to put it out because she's judging you. So
Yeah.
if you
Right.
don't take that note, then you're just dumb.
Well, that totally makes sense.
Right.
And I'm sure some people don't take the note because
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes people think, well, that's not my vision. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I was interesting. I was talking to Sandra Chavez from Unity LA, of course, and she said, you know, we had stuff planned, of course, but at the same time, I would listen to what the judges said in, say, the qualifiers, and then think, I need to take a couple of those notes and bring them to the duels because they're looking for something very specific, and it's not the same for every round. So they may tell you we need more story one round, and then
Yeah.
the next round they want a big trick, and the next
Right.
round they
Right.
want some technique or something. So
Yeah, I think J-Lo really helped us that round on making it more about a story instead of like just making it about the dance, because then there was no connection between us.
Yeah.
So
she was
that
like-
really helped us.
Yeah, for the cut, she was like, she wanted us to get more of a connection. She was like waiting for the dance to get to that one point, and it'd be like we're inching closer and closer and closer, but never touched it. She said like there's like right after on the show, if like you see it on YouTube, it cuts straight to her and she's like really clapping. Like
Yeah.
she like
Because
we did what she asked.
did it.
And I don't remember seeing that like on the show because we were facing backwards on the bench. So when I watched it on TV
Like a
the other
proud
day, I
mom.
was like,
We got a
Yeah.
J-Lo moment.
Yeah.
yeah,
So good.
really
No, that was
happy.
it was really good. Like the whole experience. It's
Without
like,
their advice, our dances wouldn't have looked
yeah,
the way
it
they
definitely
looked.
helped. It helped us grow as dancers, and like even like for me, like just like like I have to make it, readable
Yeah.
instead of just like in my own.
And it's not
Right.
just for stage, you're choreographing
Yeah.
for camera. And sometimes
Exactly.
people forget. And that stage is very tricky because it's in the round. It's very busy. They'll
Yeah.
add production elements and it looks powerful and good, but you have to make sure that your movement is not getting lost with what's happening
Right.
with lights and everything else.
And when it's like actually happening on stage, seeing the lights on the floor too, it like distracts you because you're seeing that happen, and then all the lights around, and then like all the lights everywhere, and just the crowd cheering. There's just so much happening.
Of
You're trying
this,
to
too, yes.
like, yeah, and like you're doing your choreo, and you're just trying to stay together. Because when there's two people, you can tell if someone's off. It's like really easy. If you're a solo, you don't have to match with anyone else. Trio, same thing as a duo, but if there's a group, like if one little person is just off like a little tiny bit, they'll see exactly what that thing like happened. But for a duo, I feel like it's like really, really hard to keep together because you're just looking at two people. You're not looking at an entire picture.
Right.
Just two people that have to be doing the exact same thing at the exact same time for a long time.
Synchronicity is really important on
Yeah.
something like that. We talked a little bit about this earlier off camera, but and we touched upon it a little earlier, but you guys are a part of a group that is working, successful, all started very young. Do you guys have perspective? Because I look at this and I've had so many of you on the show and I'm like, you are all 14, 15, 18, 17, and you're all out there with incredible followings on social media, doing work, teaching all over the world. Do you have perspective of how special this group actually is? Or you're just in it?
I definitely like look
like-
at my friends and just like, wow, like I get inspired
Yeah.
a lot. So it's like, but there's sometimes where I look outside of it and I'm like, wow, like we're really blessed to be able to do this, and to have the opportunity to, and
Yeah.
and the what do you call it, I can't, the stage, like the platform,
yeah.
Oh my god.
We're
there.
No,
we
to
got plenty of
have
time.
the platform, yeah.
Yeah, there's you and Josh and Sean.
Yeah. The boys.
Yeah, and I've had Sean here. I've had Josh.
Remember
Josh
when
has
he
been
used to
here
cover
twice,
his
of
face like
course.
that?
I have no
He
idea.
used to do it all the time.
What?
Cover his face like that.
Oh yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
It was his thing for a while. Everyone goes through a thing, but
Yeah. This was my face.
I also, just to compliment all of you guys, besides being talented, you're all incredibly humble and nice and respectful, which I think is great because social media is a crazy thing. It's a crazy world, and a lot of people look up to you. Do you feel the pressure of being a role model sometimes?
Yeah, because we have to not look perfect 24/7, but like try and I don't know what the word is. I
Make
don't know
good
what I'm trying to say.
choices
Yeah.
is really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not make the wrong choices. Not like we're choosing between bad and good. It's just like make a good choice for us to get to, I don't know.
The next step, the next
Yeah.
level. Yeah. It's important.
New level.
New level. But I'm pumped. But that is a lot of pressure at a young age. I mean, I know in
Yeah.
high school, for me, we didn't have social media, first of all, but also making good choices. And sometimes, even on small things, sometimes can be hard because you're
Yeah.
like, I just want to not do my homework or not
Yeah.
go to class or whatever it is. But there's a big responsibility. Do you guys feel like adults sometimes?
Yeah. And like because I'm so independent too, so like my mom doesn't have to baby me. Besides when she has to drive me because I don't drive. But I don't know. I feel like we matured fast because we're so independent. We have to do a lot of things on our own because he lives out here by himself.
Yeah, I think that's what made me just like grow up.
Get places and get to rehearsals on time and get to like his jobs on time. So like if it's basically like he's old enough to live by himself.
Because I moved out when I was 15 to LA.
Wow.
And I really wanted, oh my
You're
God.
such a baby.
And I really wanted to just be in the dance scene and really, show what I got.
Were your parents nervous about leaving you?
My parents, definitely nervous, but they really supported me, and I really wanted to, give back to them and like show them that I could do it. So I worked really hard.
Sacrifices were worth it.
Exactly.
Right, because you can't just be not doing your schoolwork and sleeping late and then just rolling on into rehearsal when you feel like it.
Right.
Because they could probably just yank you on back.
Not what happens.
Exactly. Yeah. Because my dad was like, if you slack, you always have a place here. You could just live in Jersey. And I was like, oh, but I want to be out here, so let me work extra harder, and like let me make sure that I could create, a healthy like thing out here and make sure that I work hard.
You have to prove to them that you could handle the responsibility.
Right.
I think is important. You're friends with Maddie Ziegler.
Oh,
I always tell this story, and I love this story about Maddie actually, because I covered. There she is. So You Think You Can Dance, season 13, when she was a judge, and people were, she's at the Grove. She was swarmed by people. When she was backstage, swarmed by people, and I just thought, when does she have the chance to be a kid? And one night I went out to dinner, and she was out with a couple friends. I don't know if it was you, but she was torch-a-tang through the Grove. Nobody was there, and I was like, oh, these are the moments when like nobody's around, that she just gets to be herself and doesn't have to be like taking photos or people screaming that it's Maddie.
Right.
I imagine you get to see that side of Maddie quite a bit.
All the time. It's really nice to see because I see her when she's like surrounded by people, and I can tell it doesn't stress her out. It's just like I can tell that she like wants to have that like life where she can just do whatever she wants, like meaning like hang out with us and go to Six Flags and just have like a normal day. And just like seeing her like that at home is really nice and really fun. She's crazy.
She's
a crazy
Little Miss
crazy
West
child.
Side Story doing Hello Jet. I mean, that's amazing working with Steven Spielberg. So I'm really excited.
I'm really excited for her.
Yeah, I am too. I'm excited just to see them in production this summer too. So I love to hear that. You know what? Let me take a couple fan questions too before we run out of time, because people always write the greatest questions. This one's for you, Charlize. They wanted to know, this is from Cheryl. Cheryl always has the greatest questions. She said she just saw you performing at the Country Music Awards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You were doing contemporary. How did you book the award show?
To be honest, I have no clue.
Someone called your mother and said you're booked.
Yeah, they like
Who was the
called my
choreographer?
agent, Andrew Winghart. But I've never worked with him before. I took his class once at like I don't remember what it was. I think it was Dancer Palooza like 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he called me Charlie. So I didn't even know he knew me. But
By the way, you're on World of Dance right now. Did you know that? He might be watching the show.
Really? I had no idea.
Did you have like, he always has these crazy like fabric, amazing.
Yeah, we had like really long pink skirts. Well, not skirts. It was like a big dress, but with like the trail was like all the way to our ankles, and we had to like use it when we were running, and it would like flow around. It was really pretty.
He always has these epic, and yeah, he did the Oscars one year. He did a really beautiful number there. So
yeah.
All right, this is from Joy for Julian. You were in I'm a Beast, and you've done multiple projects for them. What specific project did you do with them that got you into wanting to do choreography?
I think when, like one time, Will was like, okay, like we were doing like a number, and then he's like, okay, I wanna have you do a piece in it, and I was just like, really? And then that's when I was like, okay, like let me work really hard on that, and then, cause he gave me my first class in LA.
Wow.
So that was like a big deal to me. I'm very grateful for that. And he's, for example, that one situation, that was the first time where I was like, okay, like, someone believes in me. People like him, people like Ian, like all my mentors.
Ian Eastwood, yeah.
Ian, Gio back from home in New Jersey that believe in me, and that I feel like I have the support, and they inspire me so I could do that. So that moment.
Oh, I love that. You know, Wildebeest and Janelle have been incredible influences on so many people. It's nice to hear too, because they're good-hearted people in addition to being amazing artists. So, one final question for Soblema. I think I have your name right. What did you learn about making choreography for TV versus class videos? What were the challenges of that?
Well, first of all, it had to be readable for everyone. So any intricate movement wouldn't really read as something bigger in a bigger moment. So it actually really helped me in my choreography, because for class it's just like fun, whatever, you know, make it hard. But for TV, you're also, you know, going to someone that doesn't even know about dance. You
Right.
know?
Try to make it visible and for everyone to watch and enjoy.
For the dance enthusiast and the person that just
that just wants to be entertained. So so it really helped a lot.
Wants to see more once you're done.
Yeah.
That's a good question. All right. The question I always like to sort of end with, 5 years from now, where will we see Julian and Charlize? What are your goals?
Traveling.
Traveling.
You're going to Russia
We
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But traveling together.
Together.
Yeah.
You want to do more work together.
Yeah.
For
Good.
sure.
I love this.
We don't want it to end.
Yeah.
It wasn't just for this show. We want to be a duo.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely
For
be
lots
doing
of
more
things.
projects and videos and
Yeah.
more things, you know, that we couldn't necessarily do on the show because, you know, there's rules, and so you'll definitely be seeing more of us. So
I'm glad
Don't
to
get
hear that
tired.
you guys it was a successful partnership.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
all of them are. You know, you get together and then you're like, okay, that was fun.
yeah.
But we
Moving
don't
on.
work well together. You don't always
Right.
work well together, but I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that. Well, I want to thank you both for coming to the show.
Thank you.
I
Thank
feel
you for
like
having
I've
us.
almost completed the circle. Am I missing anyone from your group of talented dancers and friends? Let me
don't
know.
think so.
Tell me
I
off
don't think
air.
so.
We'll
No, yeah.
get them on the show because I feel like you were almost the final puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No,
I think we are the last ones.
All right. Well, this is good.
Thank you
And
so
we're
much.
rooting you guys on, of
Thank
course,
you.
divisional finals. Don't miss them on Sunday on NBC.
Yes.
If people want to follow you on social media, where should they follow you?
Charlize Glass.
Super easy.
Julian the Gus 13.
Fantastic. All right, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah! Thank you so much for joining us. We want to thank Dance Network and Popcorn Talk for helping produce the show, of course. And for all of your dance news, check out dancenetwork.tv. Next week, we do have another World of Dance contestant, and that is Briar Nole. That was a pre-tape show. It's already in the can, and you guys will see it next week. We'll see you all. Have a great one.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk
You
Network,
guys are good
we
to
would like
go.
to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.